Hey there everyone, this is Maria Young reporting live from Mastermind Alliance. Today what I wanted to talk to you about is making an everlasting change. One thing I think people need to understand is that when we make changes, and I'm talking about everlasting changes, there's really just a few reasons why a person does it and why a person is capable of making that everlasting change. One of the reasons is because they become so desperate, or there's something in their situation that they've become so tired of that they're no longer willing to put up with it. They've reached basically their breaking point, or they've been cornered to a point where they know that indeed something has got to budge. Okay, that's one of the reasons. Another one of the reasons for everlasting change is because sometimes we get to a point where something drastic happens, something dramatic happens. You fall flat on your face, or perhaps it's a extreme health condition that really puts you in a sense of awareness. Look, I've got to change or I'm going to die. You know, something that's really, really major and life-threatening in your life. Another reason why people make that drastic, everlasting change is because they've discovered something about themselves, something about a situation, or something about a certain type of research has transpired to where now they have a better understanding and a concept and a makeup of why they do the things they do. Sometimes we need a blueprint or a certain plan of action to the point where it actually entails us digging deep within ourselves to find the answers of why we are set and conditioned in a certain way. And in those answers that we discover, we'll lay out that blueprint, lay out a path to how we can counteract and how we can change some of these things that are really hindering us from making that everlasting change. So I want to talk to you today about discovery moments, about researching in your heart and soul for the reasons why we do some of the things we do. Now, I have to bring about a story and something that I witnessed through one of Tony Robbins' seminars. Well, not actually a seminar. He did a home visit, and he visited a certain individual that had a stuttering problem, and that stuttering problem really limited him and his potential of becoming such a great individual, because what that stuttering problem did was caused him to not speak efficiently, to not communicate well, and he was in the marketing business, so that even affected him to the point with trying to get an appointment. I'm not even making the sale, but trying to get an appointment, because you got to understand, if someone's talking to you and they're stuttering and really not sounding intelligent, who's going to want to schedule an appointment with someone like that? I mean, it's hard enough alone for a person that speaks well to schedule an appointment, so you can only imagine. But his intellect level really weighed heavy. That really hurt him to his heart, because he knew he was far more capable. But because of this speech impediment, it really held him back, and it really caused some emotional distress and some overwhelming self-esteem issues. Now, what happened is Tony Robbins actually took him through the journey and the process of finding out what it was that exactly held him back, or when it started. One of the things that we have to understand psychologically, a lot of times in life, our memory purposely with the intent of protecting you forgets a certain thing, a certain situation, and its effort to protect you in essence is it doesn't want to remember that, because it knows that's where the cause of so much hurt or the cause of so much pain and emotional distraught started. So what your memory does, it totally wipes it clean. It erases it. It makes you totally, completely forget, as if it never happened at all. Now, through that journey that Tony Robbins took this gentleman through, he found out that it first started when he was about age 2. And he can remember watching an episode of Bullwinkle. And they had 2 characters on there. And one of the characters, whenever it would get in trouble, it would cry out for help. And the way it would cry out for help is it would stutter. It would say, Rocky, which is the other character, it would say, Rocky, help. So it stuttered. So that is one of the last memories that he remembered before he stuttered. Tony Robbins asked him, I want you to think further back than that. I want you to think that exact moment before you were watching Bullwinkle when that stuttering began. What happened before that? Well, the gentleman went on to say that, well, my parents were arguing. They were fighting, and this happens quite commonly. And my father used to get very abusive with my mother. And that's what he remembered before he watched that Bullwinkle. And it was such an enlightening period, because what was also discovered is that in a mind of a 2-year-old, the only thing that he could think of to protect his mother, and from what he had seen, is that every time that character would cry out for help, he would stutter. And so therefore, through his stuttering, he in essence felt that he was capable of providing some form of protection or getting some type of help for his mother. And that's when his stuttering began. And Tony Robbins showed how he took him from that place of distraught and turmoil and hurt and pain, and he took him into another place of healing, of breaking forth, of breaking free. And that to me shows that your psychological has so much to do with you breaking certain patterns in your life. And it's all about doing that research on yourself, whether or not you might have to get a psychiatrist or, some type of help or counseling, or where you're able to talk it out, or if you can learn some self-help strategies that might guide you into learning all about yourself. One thing I want you guys to know is all of the answer lies within you. All of the changes that you want, you're going to have a definite purpose of why you need and want to make that change. It's all a process of self-development. It's all a process of wanting and needing and going forth to live such a better life. I'm asking you today, and I'm inviting you to have that self-awareness to want and need to make that change. And in your mind, go ahead and be aware and go ahead and be open to embrace the process it takes for you to make that change. You are strong enough. You are more than capable, and you fully deserve to live the life that you want. This has been Maria Young reporting live from Mastermind Alliance, saying to you, I will see you guys later, and I will definitely see you guys at the top.